Welcome back, my dear children, and all other viewers as well. So, in our previous video, we explored the first stanza of William Wordsworth's poem Daffodils. Today, we will dive into the second stanza, which further expands on the beauty of the daffodils and the impact they have on the speaker. So, let us begin. So, first, we will start reading stanza second together. You also read along with me. So, second stanza starts like this: continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way. They stretched in never ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. Now let us notice the rhyme scheme. It is shine, way, line, bay, glance, dance. So it is A, B, C, C. These two last no rhyming in the same way. Glance, dance. It is called a rhyming couplet. Couplet means two lines of a stanza. First line of the stanza rhymes with the third line, second line rhymes with the fourth line, and in the end we have a rhyming couplet. So this stanza is also very captivating. It has a lot of imagery also, children. So let us begin understanding the meaning of each line. So the first two lines are continues as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way. So in these lines, actually Wordsworth is saying that the daffodils he saw were as numerous and unending as the stars that shine and twinkle in the night sky. You must have noticed night sky, no? When you go in a little darker place, you see there at night there is a continuous stretch of stars without any break in between. So he wants to emphasize that the presence of the daffodils was also like the stars in the Milky Way, continuous, uninterrupted. Okay, so by comparing the daffodils to the stars, he actually wants to show the incredible beauty and the feeling of vastness as well, the feeling of the continuous stretch that was present there. He actually wants to convey to us that there was a long stretch of daffodils present beside the lake. So imagine looking up at the sky on a clear night. What will you see? You'll see countless stars that seem to go on forever. There's no end to it. In the same way, the daffodils appear to Wordsworth, spreading out endlessly and filling the landscape with beauty. This comparison helps us to understand the immense and breathtaking sight that he experienced. So he's basically emphasizing on the fact that the daffodils were spread endlessly there. Next lines, they stretched in never ending line along the margin of a bay. Never ending line means there's no end to it. And bay is for water body. We studied in the stanza 1, no? The stretch of the daffodils. Where did the poet see them? He saw them near the lake, beside the lake. So that is only the bay, a water body which is actually partially enclosed by land. So now let us understand the meaning of these lines. So here actually Wordsworth is saying that the daffodils appear to be stretched endlessly along the margin of the bay. You see this arrow along the border of this lake. So he's actually trying to paint a vivid picture of the daffodils stretching in a long and never ending line along the edge of a bay. Never ending line means as far as you can see, there's a continuous stretch of these daffodils. So this means that there are so many daffodils that they seem to go on without any break. It's as if they form a beautiful boundary between land and the water of the lake or the bay. This description is actually showing the vastness and the extensive stretch of the daffodils that is present in this particular location. So it has also created a natural border and it adds to the beauty of the scene that the poet is seeing there while wandering. This image helps us imagine the daffodils as continuous and unbroken display of golden means yellow color daffodils, and it creates a wonderful image in the reader's mind. Next lines, 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their head in sprightly dance. So again, children, this 10,000, like again a hyperbole is used here. And at a glance, glance means a brief and quick look. And tossing means moving something suddenly upwards, okay? And sprightly means something that is full of life and energy. So now let us understand the meaning of these two lines. Here, Wordsworth tells us about an incredible sight that the speaker is witnessing. In just a quick look, the speaker sees a huge number of daffodils and he's estimating them to be around 10,000. Actually, he wants to convey to the readers that there was a big stretch of daffodils when he uses the word 10,000. It was like a vast sea of flowers that is stretching out before the speaker, the poet. And the daffodils are not still or quiet children here. Instead, they are described as moving energetically. They are dancing, and it's as if each daffodil is nodding its head and swing from side by side, and they are full of life and energy. Their dance is lively, and it adds to the beauty and liveliness of the scene that Wordsworth is just trying to describe in this poem. The speaker is amazed by this sight, and it seems as if he is under some illusion that he was watching 10,000 daffodils swaying their heads in a sprightly dance. It's a moment of pure joy and wonder in nature, and the speaker is deeply affected by it. Now, let us quickly have a look on the literary devices or figures of speech that are used in this stanza particularly. So, again, continues as the star that shine. So, here Wordsworth is using simile to compare the continuous spread of daffodils to the shining and twinkling stars. Next is hyperbole. So again, children, in the lines 10,000 saw I at a glance. Actually, Wordsworth is using this figure of speech in order to emphasize on the number of daffodils that he came across while walking there near the lake. Next is personification. You all must be remembering personification means giving human-like qualities to the things that are not human. So here daffodils again in these lines tossing their heads and sprightly dance. These words are actually applicable to humans, but uh, this personification is being used by the poet in order to give human-like qualities and make them appear more joyful and animated to the readers. The next is imagery. So, in the entire stanza, actually, it's imagery, children, basically. But the line, particularly, and twinkle on the Milky Way, it creates a visual image of daffodils stretching in continuous line along the way. In the way we see a continuous stretch of stars in the Milky Way. So, actually, this imagery is for readers to understand the scene that there were lot of daffodils there. So let us see the main theme of stanza 2. It is the overwhelming beauty and its impact on the speaker or on the reader as well. So the theme that is conveyed in this stanza is the overwhelming beauty and the impact of nature on the speaker. The continuous line of daffodils is being compared to the stars in the sky. It is basically in order to symbolize the vastness, the continuity, and the infinite presence of nature around us. The energetic dance, on the other hand, is there uh, in order to reflect on the joy and liveliness that nature can bring within us, within the reader, and it has brought that joy and liveliness in the poet as well. So, in the end, we will quickly revise the meaning of stanza 2. Here, the poet describes how beautiful the daffodils looked. The poet has compared them with the continuity of stars that shine and twinkle in the night sky in the Milky Way. The daffodils appeared to be stretched endlessly along the margin of the bay. The poet says that these beautiful flowers stood in never ending line. It seems that the poet was under an illusion that he was watching 10,000 daffodils swaying their heads in a sprightly dance, in a lively dance. So, children, as we conclude the exploration of the second stanza, we see how Wordsworth beautifully captures the awe inspiring and the transformative power of nature through vivid imagery, different figures of speech, and he's also celebrating the beauty of the nature. So, I request you all, while going through the video, when you listen to the explanation, please relate it with the image that has been provided. I assure you, children, that you will remember the meaning for a longer period if you do that. And the concluding part that I'm providing at the end of the video, it has all the keywords that you need to write while writing the answers. So make use of that as well. So stay tuned for our next lesson when we will dive into the remaining stanzas of the daffodils. So thank you so much.